Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining me for another real-time edit. I've got this adorable collared pika here to edit. Look at this guy with the little grasses sticking out. Oh, it was so much fun when he did that. Anyway, let's start with a crop. Just gonna kind of offset it here. I didn't have time to do that when I shot it. I wish I did. Well, I did for later images, but he popped up real quick with the grasses there or whatever it was eating, and so I just shot real fast. So I think I'm actually going to go that way because I love the leading line here and all this texture down there. Even though I kind of want to dull some of it down, the light was about as perfect as it gets. So warm up the white balance just a tad. I don't want to go too far with it, but that feels a little bit better there. We'll lift the shadows a little bit and the exposure a little bit, and then drop those blacks. Then I'll drop a graduated adjustment on the bottom here. I'm gonna actually, I don't do this often, but I'm gonna drop the white slider just to reduce contrast on that whole bottom half of the rock there, and then maybe just a little bit darker because it really does. I mean, the texture's cool, but it's real attention grabbing, so I don't want it to be too attention grabbing. All right, I think that's about it. We'll head into Photoshop at this point. The little thing is looking away a little bit, kind of up and away. I was a little bit underneath him at that point. Later on, well, after a few minutes, I was able to get up and shoot full on eye level, which was nice. But for this shot, I wasn't quite able to do that. I don't see anything that I need to clone here. I mean, there's not much to do. I think I'm just going to do some selective burning in some areas here, just like these lighter areas, to kind of, again, just tone them down. I don't want to remove any of that texture or blur any of it out or anything like that. I don't know why. I have this like weird self-imposed rule that I don't artificially blur a background. I'll, dodge and burn the hell out of it, but I never add blur anywhere, which is weird. I don't know. Just a personal choice, I guess. I think we'll hit the Pika with a little contrast overall. There's a little bit of, tiniest bit of, I feel like there's some blue in there. Let me see. Let me actually get a reading on that. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit, right? So let me just throw hue and saturation on, just ditch the blues altogether, and then I'll paint that in right on the chest there. And we'll pop the catch light a little bit more. So these kinds of images, to me, it becomes all about just these minor details. So watch, I'm going to brighten and then add more green and yellow to what it's eating here. And then I'll paint it in right in those green areas, right? Just to make that green pop a little bit more and be a little bit more saturated. But then you'll also notice it's not just all green, right? There's some kind of magenta in there, so I'll exaggerate that magenta as well as lighten that up a little bit too, and then we'll paint some of that in on those areas so we get a little bit more color happening to that, which is awesome. And then I'm going to exaggerate these warm areas of fur, like the more brown areas that are a little bit less gray. I'm just going to kind of add to that warmth a little bit more. So I want to paint it in where it exists and be subtle. And then definitely want to get more of the green happening on the rocks. So a little bit of yellow and green. And then I'll use some automatic selection methods here to see if I can just pull just that out, just those colors. That should kind of isolate it to those areas of the rock that have it. That should be good. Yeah, there we go. Then I'll come in and just paint it. Whoa, way too green. All right, so let's modify that while I'm painting it in here. There we go. That's better, I think. Let's see. And it's still too green, actually. So I guess it was more yellow than green. Yeah, I think that's starting to shape up nicely. Paint it in into these areas. I mean, real subtle changes here. Let me make sure it's actually, yep, painting into those spots. See if there's any other areas that showed it. A little bit there, but not much. This was the main area up here that was really showing it. So before, after, before, after. That's good. And then I actually want to exaggerate those warm areas as well. Those like brown rusty colors on the rock. So again, I'll do another selection just for that. Let's see if I can get it narrowed down to just those areas. I'm not sure I'm hitting the right spot here. Oh yeah, I guess I am. So I'm going to do that one instead. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. I feel like that's a little better, but now I'm missing that spot. So I'll add that, and then I'm going to have to drop it a lot. All right, we'll try that. Ooh, horrible selection in the background. It's good I'm not painting back there. Yep, here we go. This is working. So now I'm just lightly painting over those areas. And you can see as I do it, those colors are just popping a little bit more, right? All right, I think that's about, oh, you know what? I'm going to exaggerate those warm kind of splotches in the background. There we go. I think that's about it. So now total before, after. So it's just making everything a little bit better. And the last thing I just noticed now is there's this one little light edge right there, right on the, I don't know why, but there's, when the light edges are right on the, like getting clipped right on the edge, those light areas, I don't like them. So there we go. I think I'm done. All right, save that. And I'll show you the total before and after in just a moment. Oh, wrong section there. In a wildlife chat, or an Instagram chat is what I meant to say. All right. If you want to learn exactly how I do what I do in these videos, head on over to rayhennessy.com, go to the workshops menu, down to the online workshops, and then you can find out about all the different options I offer. An online remote session is a great way to learn with me directly one-on-one how I do what I do, and I'll be available to answer any questions you may have. The last thing I want to mention is all of the free content that I'm putting out, including the 2 audio podcasts and the 2 video shows. Everything can be found right here. Just head on over to the podcast menu, and then you can choose the show you want to see or listen to, or just go to all shows and see everything about them. So thanks so much for everybody who has been listening, and then hopefully some of you that haven't listened get a chance to listen and watch. All right, let's see the total before and after here. Much better, right? Look at the colors overall, just richer, a little bit more warmth to it. It's less kind of, I don't know, it feels like stale, a little bit dull on the left there. The colors in the rock and the texture are muted, but the colors kind of stand out. What it's feeding on is really standing out now compared to there. And then, yeah, just better light and contrast on the Pika in the end there. So we go from that to that. I'm very happy with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Took a little bit longer on this one, 7 minutes for the whole thing. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.